Thank you. Time back on.
That's not craft.
Welcome back for our 21st episode. I made sure that I checked. Number 21, Gawny. We're making it now. This is a serious podcast. 21. And I think in keeping it serious, we just need to hit it straight off the bat, don't we?
20 have been introed by me, so people might get thrown a little bit by that.
I know. How do they go?
Well,
you sort of looked at me for a little bit there.
Stop. You've thrown me under the bus in a team meeting about 5 minutes ago.
I didn't want to. Let the record show.
Hold on. You have a choice.
Yeah, I do. Look, I do have a choice, and I chose to maintain some really high standards.
Yeah.
And
you've put me in Clayton Oliver category.
People listening still might not know why. We're referring, of course, to, and it hurts me the most because we've been working. It's a work in progress for the last 20 weeks, trying to sort your English out. And instead of saying the word echelon when referring to how high we are on the ladder, starting 3-0, you said echelon.
Yes, I did. Now I think I've said it the right way in terms of the way it's spelt, and everyone else.
So you're gonna have a crack at sticking up for yourself here.
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
No. So it's actually a term in cycling. When the wind hits a peloton, they get broken into echelons.
Wow.
That's wrong as well. I think they're echelons.
Yeah. I was about to say, mate, I think you've got your sources.
It's poor from Nick Del Santo to not sort of pull me up and say that's the wrong word.
I don't know. So I do that a bit here, but I just think that after a game, you've won, you're feeling good about yourself.
Do you reckon echelon? It's never a word I've used in a sentence before in my life. So do you reckon it was a real ballsy sort of...
experimenting with it live on telly.
Live on TV to experiment with that word?
Look, I don't know. The people, we don't really know what to say. We don't know where to look. It hasn't worked for you.
But we're a team, and what you did in there. So you,
but no, I'm holding you to high standards.
So
I think I'm trying to help you.
The Clayton Oliver vision with Daisy Pearce when he says the four squares to the football club, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
And you have then put mine on after that.
Yeah.
Pretending that I'm in his league.
Well, that's a bit of hyperbole, I will say. Do you know what that means?
We've been through that.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
So that's an extreme example. I'm not saying that bad, but we need to keep, hitting.
I've been given some feedback that the way you correct my words is a bad look for you as well.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Who gave you that feedback?
No, never you mind. Never you mind.
Who gave you that feedback?
First name starts with J, last name G. It's too far away. Maybe Jess G. No.
Okay.
J Gorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
All right. What are we going to talk about?
So we've got that out of the way. I think we probably need to talk about the weekend, the game we just played.
Yes, GWS
3-0
up there in Canberra.
Warm in Canberra.
30 degrees. Roads were melting. It
was weird.
There wasn't much to do, I must say. Canberra was sort of. It's like in the weekends everyone doesn't go to the CBD, which is probably fair enough. I don't think we do that in Melbourne either. Do people go to the CBD in Melbourne?
Well, it's full of politicians. We don't really.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go for a walk to Parliament House. Is that what it would be called?
Could be.
And
I know what you're talking about.
What about where ScoMo lives?
That's Kirribilli. Isn't that Kirribilli Place in Sydney or something like that?
Does he not live in Canberra?
I think it's where he works. I'm not sure it's where he lives though.
Yeah, right. So he goes to travel to work every day.
No, don't hold me to that. I'm sure he's got a place in Canberra. In fact, let's go. We'll I'll fact check this in the break, and we'll get. And I'll come. I
was actually not sure if you saw the footage last week in the NRL. ScoMo made it down to the winning change rooms.
Yeah. And
I was actually going to push for potentially to get ScoMo.
Big fella
down. I know.
Is he a friend of the podcast?
Well, I know Lingers would have loved him there.
Yeah, exactly. Lingers he's a big political guy. Loves Liberal.
Yep.
Lingers.
We'll get to Lingers later because there's plenty of Lingers.
Plenty of positive stuff.
First quarter they got the jump on us.
Yeah, I think I reckon it's you never want to be down, but I think it's a good sign of our maturity as a team. I think when you do go down, but then you're able to really stay with the team concept. No one started doing individual stuff when we were down, and we were able to play back in. A few injuries probably helps, but I thought it was a really good. I mean, we ended up winning, but it's good. Some adversity helps.
Well, Toby Green was super, especially early, keeping him in the game, and then also late. I suppose those two goals at the start of the fourth quarter. I think it's a real positive in all three games we've been challenged.
Yeah,
being able to fight back at times. Your own form, so it's starting to find a little bit of the pill
out on the wing. Yes. The Wingers Club. Me and Ed Langdon.
Well, Langdon's getting a lot of the pill.
He's the president of the Wingers Club. Let's get that clear now.
Is there some sort of initiation?
What happens in Wingers Club stays in Wingers Club. Okay. What I will say is that I've been appointed secretary. Yep. We've got Sauce Baker, who's the paid intern.
Yep.
He's up and coming. We've had Chunks, like Chunk and Tommy Mack consult. Like they're not proper wingers, but they consult. They come in and Fraze is like he's green around the gills. He's our his first week at the club. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's an exciting club. Did Matt Jones talk about the Wingers Club?
Was a massive Wingers Club. He was more league wide.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, he thinks Gaffy. He just loves Gaffy. Gaffy down the wing. Mitch Robinson's a well-known wingman these days.
But yeah, no, it's good. I think it's good. I love playing with Lingers. He knows the wing role inside out.
He went off this week, so does that mean you got a little bit more game time?
Do you know what I know? So Burjo, you can ask Burjo, confirm this. He's like, all right, Gus, Lingers. So he tells you who's coming off, who you're going on for. And he said, get Lingers. And three people, it's like, are you serious? Like asking.
What time?
It was like halfway through the third quarter.
You don't need a rest then.
And it was the strangest thing ever. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, he's coming off. And sure enough, there he was.
Yeah, was Ed surprised?
I think so.
Yeah, right.
So the only other time he's come off was when he got corked and like was cramping in his calf. So he came off because he literally couldn't run. It was very strange. But yeah, no, it's good. I like the wing. And your form as well, we should probably talk about. You're pretty good.
A couple of marks.
You're pretty good.
It was good to take a few marks and kick 2 goals. Unfortunately, not 4.
Missed 2.
I'm a big sliding doors man, so if I didn't miss that first one, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to get another 2.
You're a big sliding doors guy, eh?
Yeah. Is that the right phrase to say?
No.
Is that what sliding doors is?
I think so. Yeah. You mean butterfly effect, maybe.
Yeah, similar to sliding doors. Okay.
Look, it was a good game.
Couple of double doubles, double W's, double
You're
dubs.
Have to say that it's double dubs. So double 2 wins.
AFL dub.
Yeah. Oh, so we're talking about we've segued now.
It was segue to the girls.
Unreal game.
Special guest later on today.
Yeah.
I mean, the podcast, I've always been one to not reveal the special guests. But when you go to like a Spotify or something, it says what the episode's called. Yeah, it goes, with. So everyone knows this is going to be with Libby Birch.
Yeah, exactly.
We were originally told we were having Kate Hall.
Yeah.
And we have a full notepad of Kate Hall questions that we've had to chuck out.
Which I've kept. No, I've kept because I'm hoping one day
we will get Kate Hall. We
can circle around for Kate Hall because I've got some really good stuff for her. But are we going to, I guess, Libby Birch is coming
We've got the most experienced girl in the change rooms.
We'll get back to that.
When
she comes on.
Let's talk about the
unreal win.
Just quickly.
A few nerves about Fremantle. I think Fremantle were pretty, we were getting ready for a big game out at Casey, obviously. But I think we smashed them. It was a good game.
What was that recap of the game?
Well, no, because there's the girls are a bit nervous. Like Fremantle's a big team, big strong team, like a bit intimidating, and the girls are all right. We're up for it's going to be a big game. Obviously, it's a final, so you don't have to worry about that. But I thought it was a really good account. Go on, Max, bully me.
I'm not bullying you.
Go on.
No, hold on. I've just been bullied in there by you.
Look, holding someone to high standards and bullying is different.
Yeah, I'm holding you to being interesting.
Okay,
that was poor. Your description of the game. Max, that description of the men's game would be boring.
What? They were up for a big fight and we delivered.
Okay. Well, now they have Adelaide at Adelaide Oval, I believe, which is exciting.
Say something about how it's going to be hard, and then I'll jump in.
This is the first Adelaide Oval game this year, I believe. So it's great to hopefully get 40,000. I don't know what the COVID limits are, but the girls could play in front of a big crowd. Saturday Arvo, usually hot this time of the year in South Australia.
Usually hot. So I'm not interesting, but you get to talk about the potential weather in Adelaide on a Saturday afternoon and somehow get away with it. That's what's happening, is it?
Loz Pearce got named in the AFL Team of the Year. Not sure if that
Is that all Australian?
I'm not sure. No, that's like your Damien Barrett of the girls game giving her best team. I'm not sure who wrote the story. But Loz Pearce was the only Melbourne player in the ruck, which I found very, very stiff.
You'd be happy with it. That's a
Loz Pearce, great. Best ruckman at the club. I've actually gone to third.
Behind Austin Bradkey.
Luke Jackson.
Okay.
Luke Jackson, Loz Pearce. No, I think I've still got Oz. Sorry if you're listening, Oz.
Sorry, Oz, if you're listening.
He is actually a friend of the podcast, Oz.
Isn't he?
Yeah. And we're back at the G this week. Segue in there now.
Yeah. It's going to be... I don't want to say anything now because you're going to rip into me, but I'm excited to play at the G.
You've been very interesting. You'll just pour then. Just one question. You can come back from that.
Appreciate it.
Geelong at the G.
Another good test.
Last 3 games have been all within a goal, I think.
For them?
Yeah, so Adam Tomlinson had a shot around the siren round 3 last year.
Yeah.
And left it short.
Uh-huh.
The year before, Actually, 2019, I can't remember what happened, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, round 2, we got beaten by about 40 points. But then the year before that, 2018.
So we'll just take the last 15 seconds and just throw it all out.
The year before that, 2018, I missed the goal at the start, round 1.
Uh-huh. Tui kicked one as well.
And then later on, Tui took that mark on Neville Jetta. I haven't seen anyone take a mark like that on Neville Jetta before, let alone a defender at the time. But now Tui's a forward, so it's going to be a good game. Not saying it's going to be within a goal, but recent history shows that it's going to be relatively close.
Unless it's 2019, in which case
it'll
be
2019.
But no, it'll be good. They've had a good start, Geelong.
That was the... I'm going to run with another word here.
Okay.
And I don't think it's right. But you said it the other day, but I don't know the pronunciation. Subliminally?
Subliminally?
Yeah.
That's what you've gone. Is
that what 2019...
Subliminally?
No, I'm going to say that...
Sorry, are you talking about when I said subliminal?
What does subliminally mean?
Subliminally, it's not even a word.
Okay.
I don't know what you're trying... Actually, you've confused me a little bit. I don't even know what you're trying to say. Usually I get some sort of hint.
Subliminally. Is that not a word?
This is great.
Is that not a word? I want to talk about
abysmal?
How in 2019 we had 50 inside 50s to their 30 and lost by 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's an subliminally?
Gee whiz. I know we're not... Abysmal?
No,
are you trying to say abysmal?
Was to describe the effort, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an abysmal effort.
Yeah, I wanted to say like how weird that result is. Like it's an outlier almost.
Obliterate. That's still describing... Look, Max.
Yeah, anyway,
look,
sorry.
I'm going to get you a dictionary. We need to get... we need a segue.
Let's go to our favourite segment.
Please. Please.
You
Positive Lingers.
You've got to start the jingle.
It's Eddie Langdon's...
Yeah.
Segment. Great week for Lingers. So I was speaking to him a bit before about the Positive Lingers segment. I think he's warming to the concept of coming on our show.
He actually wants to be called Positive now.
Yeah. Positive.
He wants that as his nickname.
Yeah, which we're trying very hard to get off the ground. So
there's a chance we could get him next week.
I think there's a chance.
Because we've inquired, haven't we?
Yes. So we'll start there. One of our listeners, I don't even know how they found this, but there's this thing called Pickstar. Are you on it?
No, I'm not on Pickstar. I'm not on any. No, I don't
Neither
have
am I.
any sort of. You can't book me online.
No, neither. So I mean, I guess we're probably a bit out of our depth, but there's this social media platform where you can sign up if you're an athlete, for example, Lingers, and then say, this is my rate if you want me to come to your kid's birthday party or something.
Quite popular, apparently.
It's quite popular.
Yeah.
A lot of people are on it.
It's the famous Shannon Knoll put his price at like $900 for a video one day.
Yes, that sort of thing.
You can name your own price.
So, it's a bit interesting like that. But anyway, so one of our listeners has sent in that Eddie Langdon has got this facility to, you can hire him out.
So we
of course we inquired.
And no response yet?
No response yet. And I've spoken to Lingers, and that's because it's a fake account. It's not actually his account.
So someone else has created it. No, I reckon his manager's created it for him, and he's double bluffing here.
Could be.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not. Well, we've inquired. So and I said we'd pay him $10,000.
Okay, yeah, right.
So his manager,
we do have new microphones, but I didn't realise that we had that big of a budget.
We've got that new microphone money. So we'll keep posted there. We could talk about his 900 metres gained. I thought that was really good.
Yep.
We could talk about how he got a distinction in advanced macroeconomics last week. His assignment. That's really good, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
What I'm going to talk about with Ed Langdon about the social media side of things is, for a long time, I've been trying to, and Benny Gibson, our news guy, do we call him?
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast. Also uses the camera training. He's the camera guy.
Yeah.
And there's, we'll put some photos up. So for a long time, I've been trying to get photos with Lingers, and he doesn't like it. But what's happening now is, as we're becoming better and better friends, and he's becoming more and more positive, he's softening his stance, and we've got some really good photos together, embracing each other, having some really fun times together. So I think his attitude towards me and, as an extension, the football club, is becoming more positive.
Big one will be if he puts it on his Insta.
Well, and the even bigger one will be if he takes a Polaroid and puts it on his
no, don't share the Insta tag.
Okay.
We threatened to do that.
We're going to bleep that out.
Yeah.
But no, I think his attitude's entirely more positive towards me and getting a photo with me than it used to be. We'll put some up on just some pictures of us, just so everyone knows what we're talking about. Do you have anything?
I encourage... No, I had the Pickstar thing as well. Yeah. I encourage all Gus and Gawny fans out there to continue saying positive Lingers on every Melbourne FC post we put
brilliant. The hashtag positive Lingers, if we can get that up and about.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
It's just great. And it's correlating, strong positive correlation with his form.
That's statistically correct analysis from you, Max. That's brilliant. And it is. He's he's on fire.
I've used correlation in a sentence twice in my life, I reckon.
And you've nailed that. Not only correlation, but it's a strong positive correlation, which is that's insightful analysis. But no, he's terrific. It's a good week for him.
Next jingle.
It's
Benny Gibson.
He's got the news.
He's got the news.
Good to be back. Kate Chandler wasn't happy when he walked past there, but the fans have won out and got me back on. I did some quick research there. Scott Morrison doesn't live in Canberra. He stays at the Lodge when he's in Canberra.
Yeah, right.
And then he lives in Sydney at Kirribilli House.
Is that what I said? Kirribilli. I think the recording will show that I'm correct and will vindicate I went out on a limb there because if it was wrong, I know you'd pull me up, Max, but I got it right.
Are you on Instagram? Is your name at Tim the Richardson?
No, that's not my name.
It's
one of my burners.
He wrote to the podcast saying Big Ben Gibson fan.
Wow.
There's one of them.
So I was just saying if that's not you.
No, it's my burner.
He also wants Cade Chandler on the podcast more often.
So that seems contradictory.
Yeah. So I don't know how we're going to manage that. We've only got 3 microphones.
No, we've got
especially with the $10,000 that's going out to Lingers.
You might have to sell.
We've got cash flow coming in. We're sponsored by. We got some great friends, some corporate sponsors.
We'll get to the corporate sponsors soon. What do you got for us?
Segue to money being spent. A few fines from the match on Sunday night. So
Really?
Clayton Oller and Jack Viney both $1,000 for that melee. Start of the third quarter. You got involved in that, dude?
Yeah. So I was in a bit of a weird situation with that. I was the first on scene.
First responder.
And the ball was on the ground and Clary was on top of him. So I didn't really have much to do.
Nah, usually,
saved you $1,000.
The ball was tagging him. So I was like, well, I need to sort of help this out because I doubt Clary would have started it, but it turns out he did. And I'm like, so I sort of like awkwardly sort of joined in with Clary, standing above Clary, going on the ball.
Tough one.
And then someone pulled me off and then I'm like, yes, now I'm in the melee. I've got something to do. But for the early bit there was really awkward.
Yeah, it's 1v1. It's like the ice hockey rule, isn't it? You're allowed to 1v1, but the third person in is fined or something if they come in.
Tomlinson and Lockie Keefe ran from full back. And as they're running, Tomo was like, come on, mate, we don't need to do this. And Lockie Keefe goes, nah, we do.
Wow.
And bang, they were in.
Good
and Viney was last in and got $1,000.
Yeah.
That's stiff.
Charlie Spargo also got $2,000 for a hit on Isaac Cummings. Separate incidents.
Friends.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well,
how's that?
I don't think they are anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even
know. Do you think that could work in a tribunal case? Like,
come on. We were mates. What if I got Andrew got the play or something?
Yeah. Would you get fined if you hit Andrew?
Didn't that happen to the Selwoods? Like Selwood.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got fined. It was upheld. It's like, the brothers, they can do that stuff. But no, I don't think they can. I think, brotherly bonds are not above the law of the AFL. So there's that one for you.
In terms of Geelong, Higgins looks like a hamstring yesterday. They haven't commented yet, Geelong, but he was subbed out of the game.
So that is...
what
is that news
I'll
that you've
go
just
with
brought?
the fact. Sean Higgins got subbed out of the game yesterday with hamstring soreness, had ice on there.
Okay.
Potentially could miss 1 week, which would be not bad for Melbourne. Great player, don't want him out for too long, but 1 week would be all right.
Yep.
Cameron's still going to be out with his hamstring. So Geelong have a few injuries. Dangerfield and Rowan, we touched on last week, will miss as well.
Yep.
So that's
still a star-studded team in there. Joel Selwood put together probably the best first quarter I've seen someone play in a long time against Brisbane, so he's in some serious form. Tomahawk, that's going to be a good battle. I'd buy a ticket alone just to watch Stephen May play on Tomahawk.
Tom Hawkins is a big man.
I think we might all need to help at some point.
After Stephen May played on Toby Green, so a bit of an adjustment in height.
Yeah, correct. And then I'm presuming the next week he might go to Wingard or something. So it's just constantly changing for Stephen May.
That's a real pat on the back.
He's just taking the best forward at all times.
How do you go on Hawkins in ruck stoppages in the forward 50?
Well, it's quite known now.
He likes to take it.
I was sort of onto it real early because he did it to me in the 2019 game, fun fact. And he kicked a goal around his... he had a shot on goal, and I was quite... I remember the fullback at the time. I think it was Porter, friend of the podcast.
Big friend.
He gave me a good old spray. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I won't get pushed under. And every time since I've watched Hawkins at a forward stoppage, he's tried it. So Hawthorn did an interesting thing where their full backman was basically rucking as well.
Yeah.
Or I could just not get pushed under and
win the tap.
and win the tap. He's very good at it. So I've seen him push Brody, Nick Nat.
He pushes everyone.
Yeah. So I've got to be aware at that part of the ground, and so does
sounds like you are aware. Sounds like you are absolutely aware.
So does our great friend in Luke Jackson.
Yeah, good friend of ours.
went well. Us and Sydney are the only two teams not to have used the sub yet, which is just a little fact. So
Also the only two. Oh no, there's three teams.
three teams
Up on that high echelon.
3-0. First time since 2005 undefeated, which is first time in Nathan Jones's career.
Yep.
Haven't been 4-0 since 1995. So we're looking.
What happened in 95?
1994, sorry.
What happened in 94?
We won 5 games in that.
And where'd we get to?
I don't know. I wasn't born. But I did a little bit of research, but didn't go all the way with that one.
Sorry. I was just hoping there was a correlation between being good. Sorry for asking a follow-up question.
Sorry for asking you to do your job.
Sam Wiedemann and Ben Brown played in the intra-club match on the weekend.
We heard that from Sam last week that he was playing, so it's good that he
and Ben Brown.
It's good that he did.
They're going to play in the VFL practice match. That's going to be Casey Fields Saturday morning.
Who they got?
They got Williamstown.
Oh yeah,
coached by Justin Plapp.
Yep.
So
Flappy.
Yeah,
So that's coach of ours. For those who don't know, that'll be a good one.
And what else we got for you? In terms of AFLW, Daisy Pearce, she ran on Saturday before the game. So
you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Sounds awfully like speculation.
Oh, that's not speculation. She did run.
As
on
in, like,
Saturday.
is she a chance?
Whether
to
she
play?
plays, who knows?
That's a good
not
topic.
This week, but
that's before a prelim.
Yeah, this is worth talking.
I'd
Injured
say
captain.
prelim, very, very unlikely. Grand final pulse if we were to get there. So it would be the fairy tale story. We can dive into some more. I'll let you do the throw, but dive into some more AFLW potentially after a break.
Hey, fun fact. Just before we go to the break.
We love fun facts.
We'll go to the break when we want to go to the break.
Well, our guest has been waiting there for nearly half an hour outside the door.
Fun fact. You were in Canberra.
I was in Canberra.
Did you see what the coaches did when we were on the bus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
We randomly, the bus was stopped on the middle of the road for like 2 minutes, and then because you can't really see what's ahead of the bus if you're not at the front. And it turns out there was a little crash in front of us. And the 7 coaches, Goody got up and said, let's go help.
Yeah.
And Goody gets up.
Leadership.
And the other 6 coaches did not want a bar of it.
That's leadership.
And then 2 or 3 got up, and poor Sammy Radford, the opposition coach, was last up. He was like, oh.
Did you get vision of that? Yeah, we got vision. We'll put that up.
They pushed the car off the road.
Sam Radford now called Rain Man.
Yeah.
After his little pre-game.
Oppo coaches know their numbers. They have to have
impressive. He admitted that some of them were incorrect, but he kept rolling.
That's all right. Confidence. Fake it till you make it.
Correct. You're a big fan of that.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Shall we take a break?
Take a break.
Thanks to our co-principal partner and podcast sponsor, Zurich Insurance. For over 100 years, they've been insuring the people and things you truly love. And just like you, they truly love footy and they truly love the D's.
Welcome back to Gus and Gawny. Sponsored by...
Geez, where do we start?
Zurich.
Clutch & Co.
Jaguar.
East End Wine Bar.
Barbie Youngins.
Squash.
We're not allowed to say someone. Oh, did we say it last week? East End Wine Bar.
Not.
You said we're a no-take podcast.
Yeah, I said not. We're not sponsored by. We hate.
Oh, you've said it twice.
Who else?
We're going to continue.
We got no choice.
You can cut that out if you want to.
Don't you dare. I'll listen and make sure.
It's a no-take podcast.
It's a one-take podcast. No-take podcast.
No-take podcast.
We've got a guest.
We got a guest. You going to do it?
You do it.
All right. We got... I've just worked out her name.
I know, exactly.
Elizabeth Birch.
Elizabeth Rose Birch.
How good is that?
It's very official.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You've heard great things about Gus and Gawny, or is it all about... what is that podcast called?
I actually haven't heard anything about Gus and Gawny.
It's all about the other podcast. What's that one called?
It's Lil and Ben.
I thought it was the Flower Pot Men.
Actually, it's all about Before the Bounce as well.
Before the Bounce?
Yeah. Have you watched that?
What's Before the Bounce?
Oh, no. You haven't seen
Have you got your own segment?
I've got my own show.
And you do it game day?
No, before.
Sorry, you're on Before the Bounce. My God, how's this?
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
No, so talk me... I'll watch it this week.
Yeah.
Talk me through it.
It's the night before the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Before the Bounce
In
episode.
person?
Yeah, Ben and I. We preview
So it's on
Ben.
the captain's run?
No, we do it on Thursday usually.
Oh,
and
so
then
it's
it comes
delayed.
out. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
delayed.
right.
I want to give you, first of all, a massive pump up. You used Ben and I correctly in a sentence, so big tick. We love our...
We definitely struggle with that here.
Grammar, syntax, all that stuff we love. I've now got to peg you back a little bit. You've been compared to Rick Lever as a footballer. We were asking around the comparison to the men's team. How does that sit with
Rick
you?
Lever is Jake Lever.
Jake Lever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How does that sit with you?
Or last year, I reckon I would have been more of a Lever.
Yeah.
But I reckon this year I'm a bit more of a May. Maisie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you see the difference in those two? What's made you go from Lever to May?
Besides the name tattoo on his flank, just in case he
Did you
forgets.
guys hear I'm watching their vision?
I heard you. I've heard you've got a text chain with
you have
two.
a,
Yeah, I've got a text
you have
chain
a,
with them
a friendship with relationship. I was be careful there. You have a friendship with Stephen.
Yes. Yep. No. I think Lever's very much an interceptor.
Yeah.
So is Maisie to a degree, but Maisie's, I just see him as a classic fullback, and
he's all class at the moment. He's playing some pretty good footy.
Really good
As
footy.
are you.
I only asked for May's vision last week.
Yeah.
Because Lever's game was a bit.
Well,
Yeah.
May didn't
We appreciate honesty.
didn't Maxi King kick 2 on Maisie early though?
Yeah, true. But
Don't watch this week. Toby kicked 5.
I watched them both equally this week. I text them both because we had your good luck messages before the game, and Lever and May said that I shouldn't be watching either of their footage.
Oh, is that what they said? That's good.
So I text them both saying, "Don't worry, I'll watch you both equally just to make sure."
Who's better value? I'm jumping in because I've got a personal opinion on who I think's funnier of the two.
Yeah.
Who's better value on your when you're talking on the texting up? I don't know what it's called these days. Chatting away, texting.
You don't know what texting's called these days.
Well, 3-way chatting. Text lining. Who's better value? Because I don't
know. I've spoke to Leaves on the phone for a fair bit, but
Sorry, Leaves, as in Jake Lever.
I'm happy to call him Leaves.
Leaves it is. Understood. Leaves it is.
Maisie's pretty good value on text. So.
Yeah. Rick's not very funny, is what I was going for. Anyway, Max, your question.
In the good luck video, did I get my full 2-minute 20s out?
Yeah, you did. And you got the 4,000 metres on Eden Zenka.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
She was serious metres gained these last 4 or 5 games. Who was it your call to get her in the middle? Who's call to get her in the middle?
Mixtoneer.
Probably the coach.
Yeah, probably the coach.
Yeah, well, the leader. I was
Just the coach of the team probably picks that one up. But
we're both leaders. Do you reckon we could pull a match committee move like that?
No.
Pretty big move.
It is a pretty big move. She's playing some seriously good footy.
Yeah, she is. She's, as you said, gaining 4,000 metres every game. So
is she a bit stiff not to be somewhere in that 40, All Australian 40?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think probably what hurt her was that she didn't get into the middle early enough in the season.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of our team at the moment is that everyone's playing really well. So, and to be honest, those teams are all Australian teams are just individual accolades. But we're going for the big cup.
Aren't we just? Have a look at the cup. We're on fire as well. Great. It's momentum's in our corner. Yeah, how are you feeling about the game coming up against Adelaide?
Yeah. Oh, we're super excited. Like Adelaide O will be awesome. I know personally I haven't played there before, and I don't think the girls have either. So it'll be just great to be on a big stage. And
that was similar to my recap of the game. If you don't remember, Angus was playing.
No, Gawny was talking about the weather, so he presumes there'll be nice weather there.
It's going to be nice weather as well.
Was so bad on the weekend.
It was windy, eh?
Oh my god! So you kicked the ball and it went back over.
You guys have been lucky with the Casey Fields.
Sorry, mate. I can't let you talk about weather anymore. You've already taken up your minute allocation. So, do
you want to give me your recap on the Melbourne Fremantle? Give us the recap of your version of the Melbourne Fremantle game again, would you?
How's the group feeling? So we've played a few finals, Max, and have fond memories of that.
Oh, 3. Well, none of us played that third one, did we?
Well, jeez. Yeah, probably not. How's the group? What's the feeling around the group? Is it obviously you'd assume excitement, but how's everyone going with it?
Yeah, no, we're pumped. We've obviously had a great last 5 wins, and as you said, lots of energy. I think we're just really excited. We're looking at the finals as just another round of football, which is what you want. You don't want to be getting too edgy about it being a prelim, but I think we're just in a really good spot as a group and excited to take on Adelaide again. Like obviously it'll be our second time we play them this year. Yep. We played them in the rain last time, so it'll be obviously very different conditions.
You demolished them in the rain.
Demolished in the rain. Yeah,
that was a genuine beating. I dare say they'd be a different team this week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're obviously a really good contested mark team. So the rain played in our favour a little bit there, but we know how to play Adelaide, and we're just going to put our best foot forward.
In the other game, Collingwood North Melbourne, that it looked like there was a bit of wind play in there as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Look, it came down to the wire that game as well on the weekend, and Collingwood, they've had a couple of iffy weeks and sort of just got over the line. But I think what's great about us is we've got real method with how we're playing, and we're strong from the outset, and it's not iffy anymore.
Yep.
It's not if we're going to win. It's we know how to play. It's when we're going to win.
Yep.
So
when they beat us, I actually was a little bit sort of wow, Collingwood are the real deal. And they've sort of tapered off a little bit towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Still making finals, which is a tough thing to do with the teams that didn't make.
Yeah.
But geez, they were exciting against us that time down at Vic Park.
Yeah, they love playing on their home turf.
Yeah.
But
they had like 6 home games to start the year. Didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, they haven't. They've travelled once.
That's what the men's team do. They usually just travel once for the year as well.
They've only travelled once, and that was to Adelaide, and they lost. So they actually haven't had much travel experience, whereas we have had heaps, which is great. But yeah, we equally weren't playing very well at that point. So I think, it wasn't a good representation of what we can produce.
Now, I don't see much scuffling or fights going on in the AFLW game, Angus. And I'm a keen fan, watch every game. But there is one particular Melbourne player that seems to be in a fight most weeks. It's definitely push and shove.
Yeah.
And it is Elizabeth. Yep. She is a bit of a
Elizabeth
scuffler.
Rose,
She likes
the scuffler.
I'm a scuffler.
Have you had a melee fine?
No, I haven't actually.
Has anyone had a melee fine at the club?
I don't know.
we're clean.
I don't know. But
Just honest footballers, Max.
I keep it pretty clean.
Yes.
But I like to give it a scuff. If there's something there. And Roxy Rue turned around and gave me a big point and said, blah 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 blah. And off the record, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly right.
I'm not standing up
Your
for that
first
shit.
game against the old team Doggies, there was a bit in that one, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was heaps. There was heaps in that.
I remember
But,
that. You were swinging from the hips that day.
Look, you got to stand up for your teammates and stand up for the club and what you stand for, and you just don't put up with that
That's
stuff.
exactly right.
Yeah.
It's your inner Steve May.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. I was going to say you're in Rick Lever.
It's not your inner Rick Lever. Leaves.
Doesn't Leaves get in those kind of scuffs?
Leaves isn't a big fighter. No.
Leaves isn't. He's actually a boxer. He's amateur boxer, but
Doesn't get
keeps
involved.
it off field.
Yeah, correct.
Leaves.
So it's more Main Amazy then.
Yes.
Amazy.
Now we snippeted you before. A snippet for those if you don't know, and for those Gus and Gawny fans.
They
that
should
don't
know. Anyone listening should know what a snippet is.
Tom Bugg, former teammate of ours, said to grow Gus and Gawny, we had to give snippets out on social media and whatnot. So we snippeted you before, saying you're the most experienced player at the club and potentially playing your 40th game this week.
Yeah.
And is that the highest tally? That's more than Days and Pax and yeah, right.
Yeah. I think Days is
Days
Pax,
obviously missed a year.
Yeah, and Pax is on her 39th this weekend. So
So you're one in front.
Yeah, so her 40th will be the granny if we get through. But
and is that because you played in a granny?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's exciting. I obviously had a look at that stat this week and someone brought it up and I was like, oh wow, that's flown.
So is 40 the men's sort of 100, would you say?
Yeah, it's 6 seasons.
6 seasons.
5,
yeah,
6 seasons.
That'd be
So
around the 100
and I've
mark.
played and it's every game. So
right.
I don't know what that would stand for.
I could do some quick numbers if you want. 622
Yeah,
is
but it's not-
132.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't have 22. We had 17 games there at one point.
So 100,
Getting
127.
technical.
Yeah.
So they're the exact 127 games.
Congratulations on your Congratulations on your 127th this week.
Thank you.
It's going to be great.
Sirius, taking a turn down
Yeah.
Sirius Street now.
This is you.
I'm
you love the
an
hard-hitting
investigative journalist.
Yep.
What's your favourite shape?
I've been barbecue actually.
Barbecue?
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it is
safe.
safe.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If you say barbecue or pizza, you go, oh, yeah, cool. But if you give us like a chicken crimpy,
If you're-
wow,
They're crazy.
we found one. You're the
barbecue.
one.
That's all right.
Chicken's alright as well.
And if you had, do you know the 6 flavors? Would you have what's at 6? Like what's the worst?
The
shape
original
flavour?
6.
of the original
Yeah.
6.
It's cheddar and savory tend to be the 2 down the bottom.
I don't even think you knew cheddar was a thing.
I didn't think so.
Not a big shape.
Pizza's not great.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, that's a
Barbecue
controversial
pizza.
take.
That is a controversial take. Now, how do I'm always looking for endorsements myself.
Yep.
And we'd love to get something else when we come back from a break to shout out to a sponsor.
We got some friends that, we got this new microphone money. We always looking for some commercial inflow.
And you seem to be everywhere.
I see you everywhere.
Especially
not seeming to be. You are.
When I'm bored at home, I just go down the road because I live close to a Rebel Sport. So I go,
no.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go down to Rebel and buy. She's Libby Birch. Sorry, Elizabeth Rose Birch is everywhere.
The
in Rebel
face
Sport.
of.
The face of Rebel Sport. Then I go on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and it's there as well.
How's that going
yeah,
for you?
how is Rebel? Is it Rebel?
Yeah,
it's
Rebel. Yep. No. they've been fantastic. I've been with them for 5 years,
Yep.
and do you need some new boots or something?
Boots I'm okay for. But I could always do with like some new cricket pads or
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll just message me.
Yep.
And I'll get it sorted for you.
trampoline. They do trampolines. I'm interested in trampoline.
They do everything. Every sort of
Could be a friend of the podcast now.
Yeah.
Sport.
Friend of the foddy.
Well, I'll have to mention that they've been brought up in the big echelon of a podcast.
You've jammed it in there, and I love it.
Well, this is
Nothing wrong with an
this
echelon.
is what Elizabeth Rose Birch has arrived to the podcast with. Dear Gus and Gawny, on a poster.
We've been gifted something.
Yeah.
Great to be a part of. Sorry, why are you putting an apostrophe after there?
Gus and Gawny.
Oh, sorry, it's a comma after Gawny. Great to be a part of the podcast in the top echelon of the comp. Birch, number 9.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Echelon
Echelon.
is the word
So
of the
you,
week.
we were going after echelon, but you've just given us an apostrophe to work with now as well.
It looked like it was an apostrophe after part, but it's a comma after Gawny.
Oh, God.
I want to send. We'll put a photo up of that, of course, and the listeners can decipher if there's anything to it.
So the other game, it'll be Brisbane Collingwood, is that right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
up at Brizzy. Where would that be played?
I think Gabba.
Gabba.
Yeah.
You got a sneaky tip in that? Are you allowed to think about the other game?
Oh, yeah. Well, you always have sort of a thought about it. I think like Magpies haven't travelled a lot this year, so that's going to be difficult for them. And I think Brisbane's just a all-round team, so I reckon they'll definitely have it in the bag.
And is it a neutral ground for grand final, or will Brisbane or Adelaide get whoever wins?
Yeah.
What if it's Melbourne Collingwood that win?
Apparently, the MCG's up for grabs.
Stop that. Is that maybe a in and
That's
around?
a scoop. That's a massive scoop.
That's
for the podcast. It's a big
Yes.
scoop. Yeah.
Can we lead? Can we lead with that?
typing
You
away.
can lead with that. That is a scoop. That is inside little gossip.
Do you hear that sort of stuff on Ben and Lil? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think anyone.
before the bounce, so make sure you watch
Before the
it.
bounce. So to tell me more about Before the Bounce just quickly. And then I got one more question about your coach. Before the Bounce just goes over what the tactics are for the game. Is it funny?
It's not as funny as this, but we try to be. No, it's kind of more of a serious take on the game, and it previews the game coming and what we've just accomplished. So no, it's a. And it does the weather forecast as well, which I'm sure you'll be really
Please, no more weather. I can't have it.
Do you like that side of the game?
The weather. What are you talking about,
the
mate?
media part. Would you be interested in what Days and Abby Holmes and?
I do really enjoy that take of the game, and guess I'm getting some experience on this now.
Yep.
This is exposure, serious exposure as well.
This is a massive platform. I heard over 1 million views, so that's why I wanted to come on here, not for you guys, just to make sure I got some exposure.
That's what Benny Gibson's MO is. That's all he does. But so we're used to it. And the final
we
question.
went a whole podcast with being nice to Ben, and
We didn't say anything about Ben.
My final question is about your coach.
Yep.
Missed the trip to Perth to play Fremantle, which consolidated our finals berth.
Great word. Consolidated.
Yeah, that is a great word.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. He had a little one.
Yes.
Yes, he had a little kid.
Yes.
What, like a baby?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. A little kid or... Yeah.
I don't have much more than that if it's a boy or a girl or the name. Can you help us out there?
Yep. He had a boy,
Yes.
Jack Bruce.
Jack Bruce.
Jack Bruce.
What a name.
Sorry, Bruce is his middle name.
Yeah.
His whole name's not Jack. Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Jack Bruce.
He'll be a JB.
Another
JB.
fun fact for you.
Yes.
Mick he's the highest AFLW coach he's got 25 wins, which is the best of
The
all
most
time.
winningest coach of all time.
most-
I was worried when you said highest because he's not high. He's not tall. But then she would have.
That's what you've gone with.
Probably would have said tallest.
That's what he wanted.
Highest.
That's what he wanted to get out there.
Back to him.
Yeah.
again.
Well, that's
I
not.
think so.
It's
I don't know.
not
It's
necessarily
uncomfortable
back
for
to
me.
But well, anyway, good luck this
Thank
week.
you.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, please.
Luckily, we're not
Please
at the
win.
airport this time. We can actually watch. We can't. I don't think we can travel. Can we travel? I don't think we can come watch. But
What are you talking about?
well, I'd like to watch the prelim
We
finals.
can watch the
live.
prelim final.
I
Yes,
can't
we
watch
can.
it
We're not,
live.
sorry, we're not going to be flying to Adelaide the day before.
We'll have a captain's
Played
run,
Geelong
and then you
Sunday.
guys are about 1 o'clock or 2
Yeah,
o'clock.
140.
1:40. We'll be gone by then, so we get to watch it at home.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
great.
hopefully there's another game, and it's in
Yes.
Melbourne,
Yes.
so we need Brisbane to lose as well.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll definitely be there for the granny.
Yes, we'll make
This is
sure of that
exciting.
because it'll be at the MCG.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Sorry
so much for having me.
for my, my counterpart's complete lack of sense. And
So what's happened is he stitched me up with Echelon in front of the group 5 minutes before the podcast started. So
Right.
I'll put us on the back burner.
there has been a little bit of that today.
Yeah.
Is that why I was waiting for so long? to go on
Yeah,
this?
well, we told you 12:50, and for those in the podcast world, then no one knows what time we recorded this, but we told you 12:50, and you came in at 1:23, which is poor from us. So we owe her 33
Hands
minutes.
up in the air. Yeah.
We owe her 33 minutes.
I'm taking accountability for that. And we're sorry, but thanks for coming on. And good luck.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.